Game of hockey is a battle where every second matters and every shift counts, so your gear needs to keep up. That's where the all-new CCM Jetspeed FT8 Pro comes in. This stick is designed to survive the punishment of a hockey game, all while helping you score goals. In this video, we're gonna go over all the specs, we'll take it in the shooting room, and we'll even throw this stick on the scale. I'm curious if this stick can live up to that Jetspeed name, and I'm also curious if it can stand out in an already stacked lineup of hockey sticks. But first, let's hop in our time machine. We'll go back and get my first impressions of the Jetspeed FT8 Pro. All right, time to get our first look at the FT8 Pro. I'm excited. Let's see this thing. Open this box up here. Can't wait to see what this looks like. All right, we got the blade. Ooh, all right. Get that out of here. This looks sick. We got the nice silver color, red FT8 Pro logo, red stripe down the back. Subtle, but also a little bit flashy. I'm digging it. I think this looks really clean. I love how simple the graphic is. Black, faded into silver. The way that the silver kind of fades into the black reminds me a little bit of Trigger 8 Pro, kind of that Trigger graphic, which I think is cool because that's a good looking stick. I'm into it. I'm liking how this looks so far. Let's dive into the specs of the Jetspeed FT8 Pro. First off, we're gonna start with the kick point. This stick has a hybrid kick point, just like the Jetspeed sticks of the past. And what that means is the kick point adapts to where you place your hands. This is a really nice feature for players that want to shoot the puck from anywhere. Next, let's talk about what this stick is actually made of. This stick is built with Sigma ST2X carbon, featuring Aluply, which is actually aluminum layers inside the carbon. This is a carryover from the CCM Vision stick. It's supposed to add a lot of durability while keeping the stick lightweight. Sliding down to the blade, we're gonna see more of that Sigma ST2X carbon, and this also has CCM's Evo blade, which means it has a stiff toe for shots and a soft heel for puck control. That stiff toe is a carryover from the FT6 Pro, and that soft heel is a carryover from the FT7 Pro. So it's really cool to see multiple stick technologies combined into one blade. And looping back to that Sigma ST2X carbon, you can actually see in the blade how it looks different from the old stick, the FT7 Pro. The FT7 Pro has this nice intricate pattern on the blade, and then if you look at the FT8 Pro, it's got a similar pattern, but the squares are actually wider when you look closely. This is pretty cool, and you can't really see it on the shaft because of the decals, but it does carry up through the whole shaft of the stick. In my opinion, one of the most important parts about choosing your hockey stick is the grip. So let's take a look at the FT8 Pro grip here. It's got a nice tacky finish overall, so decently sticky. And then one of my favorite parts, it has this tactile grip along the bottom corner. It's got these vertical ridges. This is a carryover from the FT6 and FT7 Pro sticks. I love this feature. Feels really good in the head. Another feature of the blade, this stick has some new curve options. You can now get curves with a plus 1/4 inch height. This is essentially a max blade from CCM, and you can tell when you're shopping for the stick by that little plus 1/4 inch logo right there. And one super underrated feature on this stick is this new end plug that they made. It's totally rounded off, sticks up a little bit higher. It actually offers some really nice hand feel just while I'm holding it here. I'm really interested to see how this feels in the shooting room with a glove on. Overall, the specs on the FT8 Pro seem promising, but let's go throw it on the scale. We'll see what it weighs compared to its predecessors. Then we're gonna take them all in the shooting room. All right, we're here in our stick weighing laboratory. We've got the FT8, FT7, FT6, and FT5 Pro. We're gonna throw them all on the scale and see what they weigh. First up, the old FT5 Pro. $376. Next up, FT6 Pro. $367. FT7 Pro. $366, pretty light. Now, the FT8 Pro. $370 on the dot. All right, so surprisingly, some of the older sticks were actually lighter than the new FT8 Pro, but honestly, I think CCM was going for more balance than they were super lightweight sticks. And honestly, I'm a fan of that. you definitely notice a balanced stick, way more than you notice a stick that's a couple grams lighter but has a heavier blade. And I'm gonna say that the days of chasing super light sticks are over. I think people are looking for more durability and balance in their stick than they are the lightest stick ever that might explode when you take a shot. All right, we've covered the specs, we've compared them in weight, but let's compare these sticks in the shooting room. The FT8 to its older siblings. Let's go. Time for the fun part. We've got the FT8 Pro in the shooting room. Let's get my first impressions of stick handling and shooting. Here we go. Initial impressions, stick handling, feels really nice. I like that tactile grip along the bottom of the stick. And I really actually like the rounded butt end they put in this thing. That rounded end cap feels nice. No sharp corners in your palm. It almost rolls a bit. I'm a fan. Good hand feel so far. Let's take some shots. So this stick has that hybrid kick point, so theoretically the stick should pop from wherever I'm putting my hand. Let's see how it feels. All right, first shot, feeling good. Woo, that one almost took me out. Now, because this is a hybrid kick point, let's try one slap shot. All right, first impressions after stick handling and shooting the FT8 Pro. I'm already a fan. The biggest thing I noticed is how much power you have on your shot with this stick. I love that hybrid kick point. Snapshots, wrist shots, slap shots, it feels good for all three, so it's pretty versatile. Another thing I noticed, the balance on this stick. No blade heaviness at all. It feels really good when you're stick handling and when you're shooting. And another thing I really liked, pretty underrated feature, this new end cap that's rounded, feels really good when you're stick handling. There's no sharp edges, so if you're rocking kind of a minimal knob, nothing's gonna be cutting into your palm. Feels nice and smooth when you're stick handling. I'm a fan of that for sure. Overall, the FT8 Pro feels really good. I might be sold on the hybrid kick point. Now, I've got some previous generation Jetspeed sticks. We've got the Jetspeed FT5 Pro all the way up to the FT8 Pro. Let's see how they stack up against the FT8 Pro. That's some tough competition. All right, we're gonna start with the oldest stick out of the bunch, the FT5 Pro. Now this stick's kind of a legend. It is still being used by some pros today, but initial impressions, I can definitely feel that it's heavier than that FT8 Pro. Let's take some shots with it. FT5 Pro review. This thing still shoots pretty well. I'm pretty impressed, but I will say this stick is starting to feel kind of old. You can definitely feel the weight and it doesn't have the same pop that that FT8 Pro had. Although for how old it is, still pretty impressive. Now it's time for the FT6 Pro. This is one of my favorite sticks of all time. In fact, this is actually my personal FT6 Pro that I brought in today so we can compare it to the other sticks. Let's take some shots. This one is gonna be tough to beat. right, I am super impressed with the Jetspeed FT6 Pro. It may not feel as light as that FT8 Pro, but I am super impressed with how durable this thing is. I've used this stick for about 2 full seasons. I brought it into the shooting room today and it still shoots like a brand new stick. I am super impressed. This stick is pretty awesome. Definitely ranks in my top sticks still. All right, now it's time for the FT7 Pro. This is one of the newer sticks. We'll see how it goes. All right, Jetspeed FT7 Pro. Interestingly enough, this stick felt a little bit dull compared to that FT8 Pro and even the FT6 Pro. I don't know what it is, but those sticks just seem to have more pop, almost more aggression when you're shooting them. I don't know why, but this stick just wasn't quite as sharp as those. Now, by no means is this a bad stick, but it just didn't feel as nice as the FT8 Pro and even the FT6. All right, now we're back to the 8. Let's see how it feels in a back-to-back comparison with all those other sticks. Wow, just switching back to this stick after using those, stick handling feels immediately lighter in your hands. Pretty cool. Came right back at me. Okay, I think I'm sold on the FT8 Pro. It does not require a lot of effort to get a ton of power on your shots, so I'm a big fan of that. And the fact that it has a hybrid kick point, meaning I can shoot the puck from anywhere, gives me a lot of reassurance in the FT8 Pro. Now, time for our final ranking from our Jetspeed lineup. One thing I will point out, the jump from the FT5 to the FT6 felt pretty big. The FT6 felt like a major upgrade over the FT5. Then comparing the jump from the FT6 to the FT7 Pro, I wouldn't even say that it's a major upgrade. Some people definitely might like the FT7 Pro better, but honestly, I might be more of a fan of the FT6 Pro. Then moving on, the jump from the FT7 Pro to the FT8 Pro is definitely huge. I'm a big fan of this stick. It feels way better than honestly all of these, as it should, being the newer stick. But I definitely think you should try this one out. Let's rank them in order. Number 1, FT8 Pro, no brainer. Number 2, I'm actually going FT6 Pro, my second spot. This thing is awesome. And if the FT8 Pro can be as durable as this, it's definitely a winner. Now my number 3 spot, we're gonna go with the FT7 Pro. Still pretty lightweight stick, still shoots well, just not as good as those other two in my opinion. And then in the last spot, we've got the FT5 Pro, but that makes sense. This is the oldest stick out of the bunch, and it can still hang with its younger brothers. All right, time to answer our question from the beginning of the video. Does this stick live up to the Jetspeed name? And does it stand out in an already stacked lineup of sticks? I'm gonna say yes to both of those. This stick definitely lives up to the Jetspeed name. I'm gonna rank this number 1 in the Jetspeed lineup going forward. And it does stand out in our stacked stick lineup. If I'm coming to the stick racks to test a stick, I'm definitely gonna grab an FT8 Pro. Now it's time to give this stick a rating. When it comes to shooting, I'm gonna give this a 9.8. This thing shoots really well. It's my favorite part about the stick. Stick handling, I'm gonna give this a 9.2. Pretty good hand feel, nice balance, good stick handling overall. And then when it comes to looks, I'm gonna give this an 8.9. It looks clean, very simple graphic, but nothing too crazy. 8.9 for me. That gives the FT8 Pro an average score of 9.3. That's pretty impressive. this is an awesome stick. If you guys want to grab your own FT8 Pro or anything else hockey related, head to the hockey shop or go to thehockeyshop.com. And if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we can keep making these hockey reviews.